Hopefully Port Adelaide won't miss him tonight with young Gary Treadrow, a former Port Adelaide footballer. From memory, I reckon he used to wear number 15. How's that for a guess? Been in charge of tonight's game, the second game, Michael Abbott and Max Kazakria. And it's a beautiful scene down here, as I mentioned before. I think the crowd would easily be 13 or 14,000 people. There's real atmosphere, as the boys told you. It's a perfect scene. And big Russell Johnson ready for the action. With him, it's experience versus youth. Is the name of Robran, a byword in football in South Australia. Umpire Max Kazakria just getting confirmation from the two captains to get the game underway. Everything in readiness for a great game. In ruck for Norwood will be Craig Barnes starting on the ball. Maybe a lot of people thought it would have been John Hall. And he's in ruck. Against him will be Hines. Barnes gets the first tap away in towards the half-forward line. Thrown out by Hines. Here's a chance now for Hodges, who can't get it out. Barnes under pressure. Gee, the players are going hard. Hodges got hit high. And I think he's going to get a free kick. No, it's not going to be Hodges to get the free kick. It's going to Dantokia, who drives the ball up towards the half-forward line. Oh, solid tackle on the ball then by the Port Adelaide player. Ducked his head, got pinged for holding the ball. He's not all that happy about it. But the ball will go to Maynard. Maynard drives in long, out, steams, Weeding, up over the top. Oh, he paid it! What a mark by the former St Kilda player. His first touch for the evening. He steamed out from full forward. I would think the Port Adelaide defender got a bit on it.
Yes, he was set for that ball. He meets the ball hard. He can play centre half forward or full forward. He really is an important player to them.
Weeding from 40 metres out. Close. Not close enough. And the first score of the game, and to Norwood, is a point.
No troubles with those hamstrings this year, and that's important. He's a tall player. He can play in the ruck, as can Doug Smart as well. A bit of height in the Norwood forward line. Ducker back in the side tonight, and a bit of goal-scoring ability there as well. So the legs off to a start. In it comes. Phelps brings it in. Taken off hands on that occasion. Halfpenny pushes it back in, but in the way. Geneva beautifully watched. Phelps again. He pushes it long. The nice kick, centre wing, underneath it, Barn. Well, he holds on to Hodges. He'll be penalised, or at least tight. He'll be penalised for that. It was pretty obvious. Towards full forward. Tyler on a lead. Warhurst with him. Robran there. That player gets to it. He's caught. Gives it back to Barn. He's got Malloy and Payne clear. It goes to Malloy. High. Sturitsky can't take it. Ball goes towards the boundary line. Over the line and out of bounds.
A throw in almost on the half-forward line. Port Adelaide in attack. Loose ball. Ball straight through the legs there of Port Adelaide's Wanganeen. Ross sets it up. Sturitsky, bam! Oh, pressure galore there. Free kick going the way of Norwood. And it goes to the Norwood player in Justin Sturitsky. Just the check side of the centre line. Puts the ball high. Not an easy one to mark. Norwood through Smart goes up. Payne at the bottom of the pack. Ball lays over the top. In goes the heavy body there of Port Adelaide's Phillips. But the umpire will ball it up once more. Umpire Max Kazakria in screen. With him this evening, Michael Abbott. Hines stumps the ball, bumps it beautifully. Off goes northeast, puts a long one up towards full forward. Can't find the ball. Robran back them up. Wanganeen with him. Robran against Wanganeen. The ball goes to the line, and it's out of play in the right full forward pocket with Port Adelaide in attack.
3 minutes into the first term of this big one, the Magpies versus the Legs. Port Adelaide have to win this game. And of course into the grand final, a chance of taking part in the grand final. First prize 30,000. Barn with a thump away into the square it goes. Straight to Robran. Robran bounds away back towards the centre of the ground. Through the hands it goes, over towards Maynard. Dummy, then goes back out wide to Pike. Oh, and soft hands on that occasion. Had time to gain possession once more. Goes towards half-forward, pushing and shoving. Ducker in there, almost a mark. He played on quickly with the footy now. Hooks it back towards Weeding. Weeding in front. Can he take the mark? Yes! Gee, a great start by Weeding. He really attacks the footy. Big hands.
Great grab, and if you watched his eyes on that occasion, Phillips was caught under it, but he did well to get back into it and create a contest. But the kick was good in by Ducker. He took his eyes off the ball, followed up, got back on and put it in high for Weeding.
James Weeding with a chance to put the legs first major on the board. It's going straight as an arrow. Oh no, it's hit the post. Failing at the last moment. The legs 2 points. Port Adelaide yet to score.
Gee, it looked good all the way, Ken. 2 points to Weeding. Phillips kicks in to the outer side to the lead of Hutton. It's well put, beautifully put, half back line. Hutton plays on towards centre wing. Quickly swooping on the ball there is Ross. Trying to pick the ball up for Norwood is Halfpenny. He's a player that I haven't seen before. Great smother there by Port Adelaide player in Tregenza. He couldn't get it clear. The half-forward line. Oof, see how he goes. Kelly goes down on a heap, Richard Kelly, and the umpire will call it up.
His brother of Matthew Kelly is a good player. We're on Nine's Wide World of Sports. Live at Football Park. The Magpies versus the Redlegs, and traditional rivals they are. With the ball is Hines. Good player for the Magpies. Goes short. Finds Hutton. He's on the wing against Payne tonight. That'll be a good contest. Long towards half-forward. They set themselves off. Balm over the top. Good mark. Not dissimilar to Weeding's at the other end of the ground. He gets on with it quickly. Moves it through the centre of the ground. Keith Thomas underneath it. Plenty of Port players there. Ball to ground. Halfpenny to Kelly. And the Redlegs go through half-forward. Out on a lead was Rowe. Couldn't take it. The Archer did well. Gives it back to Phillips. His use of the ball is always very, very good. Gave it to Rosonico. His kick is poor. Williams under pressure. Goes back inside. Tried to give it to Ball A's. Payne there. Plenty of pressure. Plenty of body pressure. Brown can't get through. Caught with the ball. Zimmerman can't get through. Ducker finally gets it onto Staritsky. Tough out there. He goes long. Weeding up. Takes a grab. Not quite. Goes to ground. Beautifully crumbed on that occasion by Rowe. Weaves around. Back to Weeding. Open goal for Weeding. Can he kick his first? Every time he's hit the post, his 3rd point.
Gee, I tell you what, it's rough and tough out there. There's no place for the faint-hearted. I can give you the strong term. Yes, on it, they are going in, and they really want that footy. Good start to the game here. Big crowd, great atmosphere. Kick short to Shocker. Was meant for Rosonico, didn't find the body. Northeast kicks off the ground, back towards centre wing. Tregenza goes in. Hits a brick wall, good enough to get out of it. Halfpenny working hard out there. Down he goes. Ross is in there as well. Gee, it's helter-skelter affair. Players trying to work the footy out. Finally, a free kick has been paid. And he goes the way of Thomas. Thomas at centre wing out of side. Has Payne loose. That's the way he goes. He plays on quickly through centre half forward. Into the pocket he goes. Maynard. Almost the mark. Ball to ground. Weeding comes in. Maynard recovers well. Gets a handball back. A chance now for Norwood through the agency of Smart to supply then it back to Rowe. Chance for Staritsky from half forward up towards full forward it goes. Ducker's there. So is Rosonico. Ball to ground. Kelly with a footy. Centres a footy towards Maynard. Can he mark? No. He's got to get a free kick. Not paid. Right in quick. I think it's tough out there. Taken away by Williams. Superb stuff. Pull out those back to the middle.
Back to centre wing. It's Pike with a chance now to set it up. Looks for running Tari's leg. And the umpire said he's going to get a free kick. The crowd roar, one holding the ball, but the decision was correct. James Pike from centre wing puts it up for Weeding again, who steams out, but he's not going to get started. Oh, beautifully intercepted. Thomas unloads it to Weeding again. He's already booted 3 points. Hooks around the corner. Ducker against Rosonico. Oh, that was a top mark under great pressure.
Oh, indeed it was. Have a look at it. Ducker and Rosonico. Good body work by the ex-Magpie. There's North Melbourne player in Melbourne, now Magpie. The kick towards half-back. The tempo's hot out there at the moment. Over the top goes Foster. Got the ball from Tregenza. He's kicked through the centre of the ground. You won't find many cooler backmen than James Pike. Looks very relaxed. Across the centre of the ground. His 3rd kick goes to Balm. Well, Balm's kick isn't good, but he finds Rowe. I don't know whether it was meant to him. Rowe wants to get on with it quickly. He's got Payne. On a lead is Ducker, and it's good. Well, all the play's been with the Redlegs, and mostly it's been with James Weeding. He's kicked 3 points, hit the post twice. We've played 8 minutes of footy. And Ducker in your screen from Graham Campbell's pocket. He wouldn't normally pick it, but he's a very accurate shot for goal. He can kick over a long distance. Let's have a look at him. We're right behind him. A bad kick. It's not going to come back. A little bit wide. Big jump in the square from Smart. No result.
4 points, the Legs. 9 minutes into the first term. Great start by both sides as Phelps again goes short. This time he hits the body. Hines, front of the scoreboard, out of sight towards centre wing. The mark has been appealed for out there by Brown, not paid. Taken by Stephen Williams. Goes towards half-forward. Not a good kick. And Lester Ross takes the mark. Slightly on the defensive side of centre. Towards half-forward he goes. How high the pack went. Thomas the crumbs. Norwood up towards full forward through the agency of Tanner. Rizonico's playing well in defence. Gives a handball away to Abernethy. Back towards the half-back flank. Here's a chance now for the Maggies to build up an attack through Hutton towards Brown at centre wing. Zimmerman with him. Brown, Zimmerman. Both players working hard. Taps it out towards Hodges. He's tackled by Pike. Goes in again. Takes it cleverly, Hodges. Onto the left foot. Oh, it's not a good kick. Into the pocket it goes. Ross almost hitting the head with the foot, but he got a push from the back from Wanganeen. Not seen by the field umpire, and the ball goes out of play.
As you said, Ken, it's tough out there. The Legs by 4 points. It's the FAA AI Cup final tomorrow night. And day, of course, from Perth. SA against WA, 3 to 6 p.m. And then right after that, Hey at Saturday from 8:30 till 11. Don't miss it. The final day of the FAI Cup.
Rodney Maynard with the ball. Pretty tight, no advantages yet. Oh, Thomas from behind is a good grab. Doesn't do a lot of that. Got caught under the foot. He goes long. Tries to find Ducker out in front. He is. Through strongly with Tregenza. Plenty of bodies out there as Hines gets the ball away. Northeast. Unorthodox, but a good player. Oh, it's high. Williams underneath it. Couldn't take it. Well spoiled by Dentocchia. Lester Ross caught with the ball. Goes back. Grant Tanner, number 5. On your left. First game last year, Rizonico. Well clear. Puts it back in. A long torpedo punt. Underneath it, all by himself with Zinnerman. Hodges taps it on. Pike, the running Warhurst. He comes through the ground. One of the players in the race for the captaincy, of course. Warhurst. Rowe gets the ball over. Gives it to Maynard. The Redlegs go in. On a lead is Wheating. Can't take it. Beautifully read Rizonico.
She's playing superbly in defence. Rizonico goes out to the big man, the big bear. Look at the size of Greg Phillips. Kicks back towards the half-back flank. He's been in great touch, the big man. Thumped away by Tanner. The ball goes out of play on the outer side. 12 minutes into the first quarter. Norwood 4 points. Port Adelaide yet to get on the board. You're watching it live on Nine's Wide World of Sports. A good crowd here. We'll get Daisy to tell you the size of the crowd. He's the expert. Smart taps the ball down towards Kelly. Coming out is Fiacci. Runs past the football, then loses the second time. A chance for Thomas. What's happened? A free kick in the interim. It'll go the way of George Fiacci. Kick number 1 for Fiacci. In towards the northeast, and he marks the centre half back. Bounds away. Kick number 4 for northeast towards centre half forward. Ross couldn't take the mark. Pike playing well on the fence. Goes back. Gets a perfect bounce. Not a good handball. It's a shocker. Caught with the football. Should have been holding the ball against Halfpenny. Not paid. Back to Lester Ross. Lester Ross to the defensive side of centre. Towards half forward he goes. Thumped away by Phillips. Come by Rowe. Rowe, beautiful work by Phillips. Smothered the football. That is super stuff, but in the interim, a free kick has been paid to Wanganeen.
Gone for a high tackle. She's on. Smart. In they go. Stephen Williams. Hines. David Payne just adjudicating. Players getting a little warm, but whilst their bodies are going in like this, Ken, you're going to expect it.
Yeah, but that into the Wanganeen, that Daisy was out of play, a long way behind play, out of a side of play.
Well, meanwhile, back at the ranch, I think Wanganeen's going to get a 50-metre penalty, or is he? He's up. No, he just thought he might con the umpire. Well, umpire Kazakri is giving him at least a 20-metre penalty, and it's not on. It's
not
50 or nothing. At any rate, we drive long up towards the half-forward line. Hodges! Hodges over the top. Gee, do you think the big crowd? And I reckon it's between 13 and 14,000. Hodges sends him into attack, up the foot forward. Tyler sets himself, big leap off the fingers. All back in defence. Gee, he got hit on the nut, and the umpire said he's going to get a free kick.
Well, I didn't think that was there. I think it was well out of the plane. I think he just fell on someone's boot, but nonetheless, the big fella with the free kick, John Hall. First league game, quite a while, so a few seconds games, and a chronic back injury off from behind was Hutton. Judged it beautifully, gave it off quickly to Hines. The big fella pushes it through, goes towards goal, and at the 14.5-minute mark, the Magpies open up their account with 1 point. They trail the Redlegs by 3. And, gee, we've got a tight game on our hands, Ken.
We have, Rock. It's a great game of football. Always these games between Port and Norwood are great to watch. They really are. The kick-off comes towards Grant Tanner. He can't take the mark. Goes in the game. Being harassed by young Tregenza. That's out of bounds on the full. And young Tregenza will take the free kick. It's good to see two kids really having a red-hot dip tonight. That's Tanner and Tregenza, both with enormous amount of ability. Tregenza back towards full forward it goes, pushing and shoving. Russell Johnson goes up, one hand, ball out, into an open goal. It's home!
There's more to copper art than copper and brass.
Points, a hot game at Football Park. Plenty of body going in. Use of the ball very important. Keith Thomas. He's an expert at using the ball when under pressure, as they all are. Rosonico having a good first quarter. Been stout in defence. Doing it well. 4 kicks and 2 handballs. Not a bad effort. Hutton takes an easy mark. Maynard lost his feet coming in for that contest. He goes long. Well, they're everywhere. It's on them like mice at the moment. Redlegs haven't picked them up. Brown takes it. Piarchi well up from the back pocket. Kicks it in long. Towards half forward for the Magpies. Hall from behind. Caught too slow. Goes back. Coming through strongly is Zimmerman. His kick is high centre wing. Underneath it, Hutton. Hines comes in. But it was Robert who kicked it long. Northeast mops up. Chips around the corner. Brown now. His kick towards the pocket. Underneath it, Johnson. Through strongly was Warhurst. Sees it out of bounds. You couldn't buy a goal at the moment if you wanted it. It's that tight.
Just repeating the news that the North Melbourne player, Jason Love, who was going to line up for Port Adelaide tonight, isn't playing. His clearance papers weren't processed in time, and Port Adelaide coach John Carr not happy about that, and he too was involved in the car crash. He's not seriously hurt, which is good news. He's home watching, so Jack, if you are, I hope the whiplash is okay. And talking about coaches, there's the big man himself, Neil Baum, the coach of the Legs.
Ken, it's unusual to see him sitting up on the stand. He's normally in the bunker.
You're right there, Daisy. That's most unusual. Very observant, Daisy. Taken by Rowe. Handballs to Robrin. A chance for Borlays. Up towards full forward it goes. Port Adelaide with a chance. Pushing and shoving. Wang it in. Don't jump. He's kicked it. Oh, what a great goal.
There's one.
The Magpies by 9 points. And their last couple of moves towards the forward line have been very successful. On the other hand, Norwood, the post a couple of times, can't find the sticks. They go forward now through Smart, the ex-North Adelaide player, Thomas. Can they make this one count? Out in the lead, Weeding gets back in front position. Through Ducker's legs, couldn't take it. Rowe couldn't handle it. Piarchi's got it. He gets out of trouble, does it well, the little fella. Goes to Rosonico. The Magpies are back out of trouble again. Towards the centre of the ground, Brown once, twice, play on the call. Rodney Maynard gives it to Rowe, to his feet at least. It wasn't a good handball. Zimmerman once holding the ball, but it won't be. We'll have another ball up. The umpires tonight are Michael Abbott and Max Kozacrea. And that's the man in your screen. Max, a bad bounce. Hines gets the knock. Grant Tanner gives it out to Staritsky. Davies. Tanner again. Oh, knocked off the ball and done well on that occasion with Zimmerman. The Magpies, no easy kicks as Pike loses his feet, tries to take a grab. Hall, slow motion, gets it out beautifully though to Ross. Ross through the centre of the ground. Thomas again, getting plenty of kicks. That's his 5th. He'll go to Zimmerman. Zimmerman's kick towards full forward, Ducker underneath it. No crummers there for the Redlegs, except Payne. It comes out to him. He goes to goal. His first and the Redlegs first.
Pies by 3 points. Tanner gets it back. The kick is an awkward-looking kick towards the half-forward line there by Zimmerman. They work hard for the ball. Abernethy comes out with it, but the umpire will ball it up. A ball up on the half-forward line for the Legs. Great goal by David Payne. Gets the legs back into it. Borlays couldn't. Oh, he puts the saddle there on Staritsky. Payne in again. Looks for support. Great tackle, Wanganeen. Called to play on. Players stack up again. And the umpire will fall up same spot. Big crowd here. Great night for football. An unbelievable scene here at the back of Footy Park. Hines goes in, uses his body well. Can't get the ball out. Foster smothered. Back in the defence, it's Abernethy smothered again. Gee, they work hard. Storitsky against the tide. Gets it out to Maynard. Maynard puts it up. Not successful. Offline for a point. And that takes the Legs on to 1-5. Port is 2-1.
A lot of intensity here tonight. 2 points the difference. Port Adelaide in front. And a very intense first quarter, a big tempo, a lot of body work. The Magpies got out of it in front.
In front by 2 points. A great quarter by both sides. The tackling was fierce. Aggressive attack on the football. And nothing much between these two sides. As the scoreboard tells you at quarter time, Port Adelaide 2-1-13. The Legs 1-5-11. Welcome back to Football Park, and what a great first quarter it was. Port Adelaide 2-1-13 in front by 2 points. Norwood 1-5. Main goal kickers Borlays and Wanganeen for the Magpies, and David Payne for the Legs. And Graham Campbell, a great first quarter. I thought perhaps early in the first quarter, Norwood a bit unlucky, hit the post a couple of times.
Well, James Weeding made himself available, Ken, quite often up there. He was certainly the kingpin in the forward line, but yes, he couldn't kick straight. Hitting the post twice has to be bad luck. I guess the other shot he should have kicked.
Actually, Graham, I like this bloke's attack on the football. His marking is good, and his body work is terrific.
Yeah, no question, Ken. As I said pre-match, he gives a physical presence to the Norwood forward line I haven't seen since I've been part of the football over here. That's 8 years now.
And Graham, a player who's playing well for Port Adelaide all season is Borlays, who booted that magnificent goal.
Yes, I don't think he's been as prominent as the previous weeks, Ken, but he did. He's a magic man near the goals, and so was Wanganeen's goal. What a classic. The two blokes who kicked those goals were real smart players.
Well, Wanganeen, Graham, he really could be anything. We've seen this young man in earlier Foundation Cup games, but this goal tonight, his goal tonight was absolutely sensational stuff.
I hasten to add, Ken, it's all he's done so far, though, in that first quarter, and I also hasten to add, it's hard to make an impression in 21 minutes of football.
Yes, it's a fantastic quarter, Graham, a typical Port Norwood clash. And, of course, talking about clashes, don't forget, tomorrow at the Wacker Ground in Perth, it's a day-night game. It's the FAI Cup final between SA and WA. Our telecast commences at 3 o'clock through to 6, and, of course, from 8:30 through until 11 p.m. It should be a marvellous game of cricket. Let's take up the second quarter now. Your commentator, Ian Day.
Looking forward to the next 3 quarters. It's been hard football. Top stuff. Second quarter of round 5 of the Foundation Cup. It's Port Adelaide by 2 points. At the bounce, Hines couldn't get the tap away. Baum tries to barge his way out. Couldn't get a kick out. Searching for it is Thomas, but the umpire will come in. Oopsie-doo. Craig Baum just a little uneasy about something that the big fellow in Hines gave him, and just let him know that he wasn't happy. At the bounce again, Hines comes in, didn't see the footy, and I think the umpire's going to rule that way, that it was a charge, shepherding or whatever. Baum heaves a long one in towards Thomas on the half-forward line. Piachi's there and comes out with the ball, miraculously so. Gives a chance now to Phelps. He clears long, centre wing, well put, Foster. Foster's got it, tack side of the centre line. Wants to hurry on. Can't find a teammate leading at the moment. He's going into the lead, into the forward pocket. On a long lead out there is big fellow Russell Johnson. Well screened. Puts out the run, Brown through. Port Adelaide. Foster it was, into attack. Brown now into the scene. The saddle goes on, and Warhurst gets a hold in the ball decision.
Changes the play. Good eyes. And touch it. Short to Grant Tanner. Plenty of pressure. He gets it on, though. Quickly to Pike. His kick is good to Payne. So the Redlegs. Thomas it is. 10 short for Payne, number 17. He plays on. High to half forward, ducker underneath it. From behind was Tyler. Borlays did well, gave it to Phillips. Beautiful handball with his left hand. How many times have we seen that? It's worth a kick to the Magpies. Phelps' kick is short and finds Hutton. Long way up from his wing. From back pocket. Centre wing, eastern side of the ground. His target is Foster if he can keep it in. Clever play by Foster to get around halfpenny. Taking it right around the boundary line, the absolute exterior of the stadium. Baum fumbles, manages to recover, goes to Rowe. In turn goes back to Zimmerman. Zimmerman to short hand to Payne. Dodges around. Back through the centre of the ground. To no avail. Borlase in the way.
Borlase plays on quickly, having a good season so far. Goes short towards half forward, looking for Hutton. He couldn't take the mark. Brown is in there working hard. Players come in for the football, and umpire Michael Abbott will call for a bounce. Out of side, big crowd here at Footy Park, and what a night. It's a beauty. And what a game. It's great. It's Port by 2 points. 2-1 plays 1-5. The bounce down. We're watching this game live on Nine's Wide World of Sports as we see Zimmerman coming away. A good handball finds David Payne. Payne up towards centre half forward. Coming out is Weeding. Can he complete the mark? No, he can't. Border ground. Kelly in there. Does it well for a youngster. Goes in again. Geez, a terrier. Maynard with a handball. His body's going right, left and centre. Thomas on the bottom of the pack. Staritsky gets busted off the football. Do you think it's not hard out there? Northeast comes away with a football. Kicks towards half forward. Border ground. Chance now for Wanganeen. Hodges in there, tries to thump the ball away. Taken by Robin. Over to Barham. Away they go, the legs. Out of the fence towards centre half forward. That's a long kick. Ducker is there. Over the top of the pack. A chance now for Abernethy. He transfers play. Comes towards grandstand side. Has a bounce, a most unusual looking bounce. Kicks back towards centre wing. Looking for Northeast. A chance for the legs again through Tanner. Goes the way of Ducker. Into the pocket to Payne. The Redlegs working up some sort of attack. Or back towards Ducker. They're in trouble. He hit a Prickle. That's got to be holding the ball, umpire Max Casacrea. Where are you, son?
Ken, I don't think he had the ball when the tackle went on. And the umpire was in a perfect position to see it. However, the bounce on the half-forward line. 2-1 plays 1-5. It's a major feat just to get a kick out there, I can tell you. Smart, Kelly, Tanner, Fiacci over the top, and the umpire's going to ball it up once more. 2-1 to 1-5 in a low-scoring game. A bounce on the half-forward left flank. Live from Footy Park on Nine's Wide World of Sport. Hope you're enjoying our company as Maynard gets tossed out. Well done there by young Geneva. Up towards centre field, well taken Ross. The handball is not all that good. And Abbott puts paid to the lot. No, Northeast it is and thumps it out. The umpire said it's deliberate. Well, he put it into about the 15th row of the stand. Tanner puts it up for grabs on the half-forward line. Gee, it's a mess up there. Players everywhere. Smart comes out with a football. Gives it across to Tanner a little slow. Through goes Rowe. Kelly it was. Down goes Rowe. Gee, there's heavy body work as Hines takes it out of play.
I feel bruised sitting up here. My goodness, there isn't anything easy out there, and you wouldn't expect anything different. The Redlegs are fighting for form to go into the season, and the Magpies anxious to keep it, and they're $30,000. They lead by 2 points. Action-packed, 4 minutes gone. Through they go. Tregenza. The Magpies forward. Through Wanganeen. Hodges takes it. Borlase it was. Back to Borlase. He's met heavily. Pike knocks it back out. Williams tosses it out to Brown. Brown's got another option through the centre of the ground, and it's Geneva. He's kicked towards half forward. They set themselves. Tyler couldn't take it. Beautifully taken by Foster. Great crumb. Panic move. Handball to Warhurst. Who wouldn't panic out there, though? There's no time to do anything. That man won't, nor will he. That's Phillips and Abernethy, two of the veterans for Port Adelaide. To ground. Hutton, kick one already. Good wingman, plenty of pace. Caught on that occasion. Fiacci, nowhere to go. He was looking for a hole, and it wasn't there. Well, that man won't get out either. Rowan holding the ball. Should have knocked it out. Bit tough, but probably there. Geneva, in turn to Fiacci. He goes long. It's up high. They set themselves. Johnson from behind gave away a free kick. Robber into Pike, and the Redlegs are out of trouble.
Pike back towards centre wing, but it's all Port Adelaide through David Hutton. He marks. Has a choice of about 3 players. Picks out Tregenza. Tanner comes in, but Tregenza with the mark. Kick number 4 for young Simon Tregenza. The long kick up towards centre half forward. Up goes the pack, off hands. Wanganeen. Watch this young man go. He was pulled off the football. Good work on that occasion by Staritsky. Gives it to Lester Ross. He goes short and finds D'Antiochia. Up towards a shocker. It finds Brown. Brown with a long kick up towards full forward. Up high was Baum. Thumped the ball away. Foster comes in. Tyler is there as well. Warhurst, most unusual with his socks up tonight. Goes the way of Rodman, who goes short. There's a chance now from Norwood through Halfpenny. Back towards the centre. Staritsky over the top. The shocker. Gee whiz, it's pressure out there. Players going for the football. Tapped out. There's a chance for Brown. Soccer's off the ground. Rocken comes in. Good pair of hands, but the ball is stolen by Wanganeen. A high kick back towards full forward it goes. Off hands. Chance for Borlase. Kicks towards goal. Offline.
Oh dear. It is fierce. 2-1. Plays 1-6. Sorry, 2. Yes, 2-2 I think it was going to be. Yes, plays 1-5. Warhurst looking for the lead and well put to Zimmerman. Zimmerman got a chance to run, but he's put it up for grab towards centre wing. Well taken there by Maynard. Looking for a run-up, finds it now in Staritsky. Staritsky goes in long, out steams Ducker. Can't quite get there, takes care of his own man. As the ball comes out to the lumbering Phillips, has an air, he's got to go back for it. Taps it out, but only far there is Pike. Oh, in goes Tanner. Tanner under pressure. It comes out, here's a chance, Thomas. Thomas gets a handball out. Oh, Weeding under pressure. Can he get it? Gives it away. Into the open goal goes to Ritsky. And he's missed.
There's a fight behind play. Staritsky in your screen. Lester Ross goes in. Williams again. Players getting a little bit heated. There's Rowe in your screen, not feeling well. That might have been the cause of it. And Norwood under a lot of pressure because every time they go for it, they're just not... So there's a 50-metre penalty here. Now, I'm not sure what the free kick is for in the first place. Max Kazakria will go in and have a chat to Michael Abbott, make sure everything's in order. I think he wants to find out himself what went on.
Well, I can't work this out. I thought there was a point scored there.
Obviously, there was a player put down behind play. Only a metre out of goal. Doug Smart.
One can only assume, Rocky, that the free kick was given back in the back part of the field before the point was ever given.
I think you're right, and with the kick will be Staritsky. It's a free after disposal. And it's Staritsky to take it. He's 10 metres out. He makes no mistake to kick his first.
Kemper's getting frayed in the Foundation Cup. I think Norwood has got to get a point taken off their score because they both got a goal and a point during that passage of play. Wanganeen farms it out. Tregenza gets it out further. Brown going to run into trouble. Gets the kick away. Ross against Geneva. Quickly back is Pike. Oh, gee, the umpire sorted out a free kick. Goes to Geneva. Geneva won't kick it from there. Oh, he runs round. He might. Puts out the pass on the leaders. Tyler and Borlase. Well, down he goes. Barr looking for somewhere to relieve the situation. Back towards Wanganeen. Oh, that's a sensational mark. Courage galore. Experience came to the fore there, and a kid 17 years of age. Superb stuff as he goes into the pocket and gives a chance now to Simon Tregenza. Tregenza in turn on the lead is Hodges. Can't pick it up. Foster runs into trouble. Quickly Tanner. As I said, a major feat to get a kick out there. As Tanner boots it up to Phillips. Phillips and Smart, I can tell you, are not in love with one another. And this time it's going to be Greg Phillips who takes the free kick.
Well, Max Kazakria is confused. There was no free kick there. In fact, Phillips is holding on to Smart on that occasion. So Kazakria is being intimidated. And I think we ought to just forget about all that and watch the game. Ball to ground. Hodges. It is tough out there, and they need the umpires really need to keep a lid on this. Otherwise, we'll have an absolute uproar out there. Shocking kick, half forward. Warhurst gets the crumb. Balm. I'm going to say something else. It's not for TV. Zimmerman in the half, Betty. I don't know whether you agree with me, Ken, but it's just volatile at the moment.
It is, Rock, and I tell you what, you're right, your comments about the umpires. I've got to kick the lid on this game, but I tell you what, it's about to explode any tick of the clock. It's not easy out there for the men in white because the players want that football at all costs at the moment. The kick back towards centre wing. There's a chance now for Norwood. Running past the football, Norwood plays Borlase, taken by Maynard. Over to Staritsky. Very skillful football towards centre half forward. Brazonico had a scintillating first quarter. Kicks the ball back towards centre wing with kick number 6, but the mark has been taken by Tanner. Tanner at centre wing, grandstand side. Grant Tanner kicks towards centre half. Well, over the top, Weeding. Gee whiz, that's a top mark by James Weeding. Gee whiz, the Daisy is impressive.
Yes, well, to get around Phillips is a major feat, but that was a great grab, strong one grab, and he's got it about 45 out.
James Weeding with kick number 5. It'll lob right into the square. It might even bounce. Shoot! Strike! Big, big! Has it? Yes, it has!
10 points. It's on for Young and all. Stephen Williams high towards Tregenza at centre wing. Dan Tokyo in there, gets the kick away up towards the half-forward line. Here's a chance. Thomas, if he gets the shit, got caught around Rosonico, heads towards goal, gets it a chance, home!
Football, as we've seen Norwood now taking control by 16 points as a test the character of the Magpies. Of course, John Cale not coaching Port Adelaide tonight. He was involved in a car crash earlier this evening. He suffered whiplash. He's not seriously hurt, which is good news. So, Jack, if you're watching, no doubt he's having a bit of a nervous breakdown watching this at the moment. As we see the Legs go into attack once more towards centre half forward. Thomas overran the football. Kelly working hard. So is Fiarchi. He runs into a brick wall. That's Thomas, but did it cleverly. Tapped it on towards Rosonico. His kick back towards the centre of the ground. Russell Johnson has hardly been sighted tonight. Into the middle it goes. Robert Smith, who just come onto the ground, has run past the football. It's taken by Maynard. Weeding! Couldn't quite take the mark. Got his hands to the football, and Rosonico goes to the line for the safety of the line. And of course, don't forget, the big one tomorrow at the Wacker Ground in Perth, the final of the FA Cup. It should be a beauty. Our telecast commences at 3 o'clock through until 6 p.m. and then, of course, commencing again at 8:30 right through until 11 p.m. It should be a fantastic game of cricket.
The Legs in a tackle, in go the body. Smart, can't find the football, picked up by Geneva. Back towards the half-back line, Tregenza against Tanner. The youngster's in hard for the ball. Kelly can't find it, goes in again. Rowe comes out with the ball, gives a chance now to Kelly. A little slow to get rid of the football. Phillips sweeps out a handball. Got a hand like a foot. Rosonico then sends it wide to the outer side. Hutton over the top is Payne. The umpire says play on. Comes back now. Gee, Wurst is up there. Sturitsky puts it onto his boot quickly. Gee, gives it a ride. Rosonico over the top, Weeding, claims the mark, but the umpire indicated that he's gone over the line with a touch ball, so the result is a point. The Legs going on to 4-7. Port Adelaide is 2-2 with 16 minutes gone of the second quarter.
The scoreboard and Port Adelaide under a lot of pressure. The Redlegs, the ball in their forward line most of the time now. They had trouble scoring in the first quarter, but in fact they kicked 5 points from 6 shots, had twice as many shots and wasted them. Abernathy with his 4th kick. Oh, Wanganeen, clever, not quite. Beautifully crumbed by Foster. Left footer goes in towards goal. His kick is terrible. Cunningham just has a heart attack alongside him. I love commentating with you two blokes. It's the closest I've ever been to playing. Adrenaline just goes. Pike now. Goes to Maynard. He has a look. Not quite sure what to do with it. Can't blame him. Oh, northeast. Or Tregenza it was. Northeast. I was right the first time. Through strongly. There was nothing wrong with that. He just went straight at the ball and flattened Rowe, who was just in his way. Tanner, met by Brown, is tough. Oh, Balm, met by Borlase, is tougher. Tanner, there's some sorry players, met by Hodges. He wants to go on with it. I think you better leave it alone, boys. You get hurt enough just going for the footy. Johnson, look, there they are on your screen, and they think better off it. Back towards Phillips now, with his left foot. High, Robin sets himself. In front was Ross. Wanganeen on the ground. Players go in hard. Hines there. Robin comes out with it. Can't get a kick to it. Now a left-hand handball. Puts it to ground. Gives the advantage to Ross. Good handball. Defensive side. Tregenza there. Pitches the ball. Chips it back. And in the way, Balm.
Well, that's going to be taken off Balm. Yes, good decision. That was strong umpiring. Real strong umpiring. What's this in replay, Ian?
Ken, I wouldn't have given a free kick at all, I must say. Nothing wrong with that at all, plus the 50 metres. I got to tell you, KG, if they're going to do that in football, you know, we've got a major problem.
Well, hang on, Daisy. How long since your arm throwing your arm back and hitting a bloke in the head's footy?
Ken, do you really think he hurt the boy at all? Do you think it was that hard?
Well, it's a goal, and the ball will come back after the break. 11 points the difference. I'll go back to my point in that free kick. If they're not paid, this game could get completely out of control. Back in the centre, umpire Michael Abbott, who gave that free kick.
And look, I've got to come in there. I owe it to my credibility. If that one, there was 90 worse than that haven't been paid tonight, so you've got to say the same thing about that 90 that haven't been paid.
Payne, his kick is long into the square. Phelps there, great take. He made sure he didn't push anyone in the face. It's a hard one. It's a matter of opinion. I don't know how you see it at home, but I wouldn't like to be on the end of Barham's elbow at any time. But Johnson takes Barham off the ball. Through they go. Ginniver's kick is long. It's high. Underneath it. Warhurst can't take it. Smith there as well. Wanganeen. Williams. Chips around the body with his third kick. Possession football. Hodges on a lead. He'll put it into the square. With his sixth kick, he's taken 4 marks as well. No result. Ball to ground. Maynard will be there along with Brown. He's pushed to the back. No free kick. Zimmerman comes away with it. Straight up the ground he goes. Oh, great take. Northeast. Boy can play.
He loves it tough too, Paul Northeast. A good footballer. Kick number 7. Almost 20 minutes gone this second quarter. It's been a beauty. It really has. Out wide, Hutton takes the mark. Port Adelaide about to go into attack towards Ginniver. Time ticking away for the Magpies. Kicks towards full forward. Hines is there. Robin with him. Humped away from that player. Foster almost has an area. In goes Robin once again. Wanganeen is there. Robin, Wanganeen. Out towards Halfpenny. Back towards the half-back. McAvanethy is there. The chipping in is Hutton. And again, a good mark to David Hutton. Centres a football towards centre half forward. Off hands to Rowan Smith. The loose handball taken by Zimmerman. The long handball out wide. Payne with a chance now for the legs. The ball sits for him. He's flanked by Thomas. That's the way he goes. Back towards centre wing. Rowe is by himself. Can they build up some sort of attack? He goes towards centre half forward. Weeding coming out. Kelly's there. And Kelly takes the mark.
Not time to score. There's only about 10 seconds left. Tregenza gets the benefit of the bounce. No place for the faint-hearted out there. Butted up well is Rosonico's siren sound. And at half-time in the Foundation Cup, the Legs lead by 11 points.
Well, it's a hard stopper. It's pretty tough out there. There's no quarter given by either side. They're all in hard. Norwood found a bit of form in their forward line that quarter. That made the difference, but we're in for a tough second half.
Score at half-time. The Legs 4-7-31. Port Adelaide 3-2-20. You're watching Night Footy on 9's Wide World of Sports. Sensational first half of football with Norwood 4-7-31, leading Port Adelaide 3-2-20, a margin of 11 points.
And main goal scorer is Wanganeen. What a clever player he is. He's kicked 2. And for Norwood, there's been a string of them. Payne, Starisky, Whitting and Thomas. But it's been a tough game, and you just get nervous watching them, Ken, don't you?
Well, you do, Rocky. It's a typical Port-Norwood game. It really is a fantastic clash. And I think from Norwood's point of view, up forward, Whitting looks terrific. Have you seen Smart's game?
Well, I think Smart has got his hands to the ball a few times, but I think Phillips is well on top of him, and there's no doubt there's a pretty physical and there's a tough clash going on between them at the moment. But if for Norwood to win, Smart has got to get his hands on more footies.
OK, well, let's go to Graham Campbell. We'll come back up here shortly. Here's Graham Campbell.
Thank you, Ken. We've got a familiar face here. Centre half forward Darren Smith, not playing again tonight. Each Friday night, Darren, I keep interviewing injured players. I have to get someone to talk to, and you've obliged for the second time. Thanks for that. What is wrong now?
It's the same injury I had before. Just I jarred it again last week against West at Tumby Bay, and unfortunately it didn't quite come up this week.
Now, if Port win this game tonight and go into the grand final, would you be ready for that?
Oh, it depends how I train next week. I haven't trained on it yet, so I'll see how it goes at training next week.
Actually, Darren, it's not a bad game to miss tonight, is it?
I'd rather be playing, actually, Graham.
Yeah.
It's very nervous sitting up there watching the boys run around.
It's a typical Port-Norwood game where there's just so much physical pressure. It's unbelievable. Ian Day said any kick is hard to win, and I agree with him.
Oh, that's a fair comment. That's the way Port and Norwood games are. They're very hard-fought games, and shows on the scoreboard how close it is at the moment.
Now, Russell Johnson's played the last couple, they tell me, but not having a great influence on the game as yet.
Well, last week he kicked 5 goals.
Oh, really?
So he had a fair influence on the game that week.
I didn't read the results, unfortunately.
But Jono hit form when we need it, so he'll be right.
Well, the one young player we're all raving about is Gavin Wanganeen. Have I said it right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I think he could be anything, really.
He's an unbelievable skills, and he reads the ball so well, and he'll fit into the side real well when we get used to him during the season. Well,
I was going to interview Wayne Marnie. I was going to say to Wayne, it's bad news for him, really, because he grabbed that second roving spot, hasn't he?
Well, that's right. And, well, if you can call him a rover, you've got David Brown and Tim Ginniver there roving at the moment, or Brownie has a rest on the flank every now and then.
That's right.
Yeah, it is hard for Wayne to get back, but he's working pretty hard on the track at the moment. He's got to still lose a little bit more weight, but he'll be back around the place in a couple of weeks' time, so it's good for the selectors, I suppose. They have all the rovers around like that.
Well, what is wrong with Wayne? He's hardly played, as he was pre-season.
He had surgery on his knee last year, and that's still bothering him a little bit.
And Jack's not coaching tonight?
No, unfortunately, I just heard that he had a bit of a tangle with a car, so I don't know what the story is, but hopefully he's all right.
Well, Darren, I hope you're back next week, if not next week, for the first game of the year, and good luck for the rest of 1990.
Thanks, Graham.
It was Graham Campbell, of course, talking to Darren Smith. As the result of the earlier game tonight saw the Bays home 13-12-90, the Panthers 9-8-62.
Yes, they ran over the Panthers in 10 minutes of that final quarter, something Reed will have to work on. Fitch kicked 6 for the Bays, and for the Panthers, Bickley and Grummett scored the major goals with 2 each.
And Rocky, just talking about this the second game, of course, well, there's the prize money for the Foundation Cup, the prize money for the winner, 30,000, and Port Adelaide must win tonight's game to give themselves a chance of taking that $30,000 away.
Well, they're desperately serious about it tonight, and when you watch the earlier game, it was obvious that the Bays were pretty serious about it as well. And let's just have a look at the way things sit at the moment. It's a three-way tussle, and of course Port Adelaide have to win tonight to stay in that final. And if they lose, well, Wood will have to get over West tomorrow to be a chance, and they must win pretty well. So it's a pretty competitive scene at the moment. Of course, the Foundation Cup continues tomorrow, 2 p.m. at the Woodville Oval. Woodville take on West Adelaide. Sunday at Liverpool. That should be a good game of footy. The Double Blues versus the Eagles. Then, of course, on Monday night, live here on Channel 9, the big one, the Bulldogs versus North Adelaide. We'll take a break. Back with more footy action shortly. Welcome back to Football Park. Graham, it seems strange that Johnny Carl not coaching Port Adelaide. Just to explain that, John Carl was sadly involved in a car crash earlier tonight. He's not seriously hurt. We believe that Jack is suffering whiplash, so he's not coaching Port Adelaide tonight. And while we're sending cheerios to Johnny Carl, David McCoy, our co-commentator, also is in hospital. So, DB, if you're watching the telecast, keep the chin up, and I hope it's a speedy recovery. But, Graham, gee whiz, a fantastic game of footy.
Ken, it's like a final, quite frankly. I guess it is their little final, if you like.
Well, it is for Port Adelaide.
If Port win, they're in the grand final next Friday. If Norwood win, they just get in the road of Port. Well, if you like, qualifying for the big one. Yeah, so I think Norwood would love to win this one.
That's for sure. Have you seen David Payne's game across centre?
Yes, neat. He's a very neat person, David Payne, in all approaches to football, Ken. He's about the side steps, the action's very neat, well, and he always steadies before he kicks the ball. That's a good trait of David Payne, and he kicked that guy because of that little way of doing that.
Because of him being a former rover too, Graham. That's obviously stood him in good stead.
And don't rovers love goals, Ken?
Oh, do they ever? What about this young bloke, Wanganeen? How good is he going to be? How was that goal he kicked? Unbelievable stuff.
Well, Ken, he really is a class act, isn't he? And that's not the goal he kicked, of course. That was in the first quarter. But Wanganeen backed away from the play then, took the mark in his chest, made it look easy. And it isn't easy, Ken. It's difficult to do that stuff. He's only a wisp of a lad.
Yes.
Nothing of him. I saw him in the rooms the other week there. He's just got a very, small build completely. They say he's about 7 stone 8 dripping wet.
But it's all skill, Graham, that's for sure.
What's 7 stone 8 in the new... I never know, but whatever he is, he's a very thin boy.
And James Weeding at full forward?
Oh, well, I sang his praises, Ken, after last week.
Yes.
I was down at the Bay Oval last week, and Weeding was well, he wasn't sensational, but he was a real omnipresence in the forward line all the time for the Glenelg back line. And he really is a player, Weeding. I'll be surprised, Ken, if Weeding doesn't have a real big year. And I'm saying now, he'll probably kick 100 goals, as will John Fidge, as will David Steckle, although David was a bit down tonight.
Well, it could be the year of the full forwards, Graham.
Ken, it's going to be. There's no question in my mind. 4 or 5 league full forwards this year can top the ton.
Keith Thomas had a very ordinary year last year coming back from Pittsburgh, but already this year we're seeing the good side of Keith Thomas.
I think Thomas is their best player so far, Ken, on the ground tonight. He really is a bloke that knows where to go when he gets hold of the ball. Outstanding courage and a top player, too, Keith Thomas.
How did you see that incident between Craig Barham and Gavin Wanganeen?
I saw it.
Controversial one.
I wouldn't give a... Look, that's giving away a goal, Ken. I don't think it was that bad to deserve a goal. He tried to shrug the boy clear. He caught him a fraction on the chin, and Gavin probably, and fair enough, played it up a little. But I don't think it was that bad.
Do you think the kid's experienced enough to play it up like he's copped it? You see, Graham?
Well, he's not experienced enough, no, but he has played it up a little. But he's got a 50-metre pull as well, Ken.
Well, my point is that, and I know Daisy doesn't agree with me, but my point is that if they don't pay those sort of free kicks in this sort of game, then you're going to lose control of it. Anyway, certainly something to talk about during the week, should I say. Well, coming up, of course, on Channel 9, it's the big one tomorrow. It's the FAI Cup final between South Australia and Western Australia from the Wacker Ground in Perth. It's a day and night game, 3 o'clock until 6 p.m. And then, of course, we go back to the Wacker Ground at 8:30 right through until 11 p.m. It should be a marvellous game between South Australia and Western Australia. On that note, here's Rocky Roberts.
Thanks, Ken. And with me, a player who graced this ground many times and did it pretty well, particularly in finals, Philip Gallagher. Welcome, Philip.
Thanks, Neil.
But this ground would look a bit big for you now, I suppose.
Well, it certainly would in my condition. I don't think I'd be able to run too far at all.
It's not going to get any smaller as it gets older. But you've been away from the club for a while. Have you noticed anything different since you've been back?
I certainly noticed this year that there seems to be a lot more intensity, Neville, about winning and being successful. And I think that's really everybody's keen to do well this year. I think that's probably the major difference.
Yeah. In my first year or so out, I spent a bit of time with Neil Baum coaching, and I found him to be a bit different sitting alongside him than it was when you were being coached by him. Have you found that?
Well, he's generally known as a quiet man, but I can assure you he's not all that quiet up there.
But the kids that are playing for Norwood at the moment, it's a good crop through. Have you seen them? They're pretty productive for you.
Well, tonight they've been particularly good up till half-time. We've got a lot of them playing tonight and a lot of experienced players out, so perhaps not our best balanced side tonight, but certainly they've been very impressive.
And have you seen Port Adelaide? I mean, they've, I guess it's a traditional sort of game, but their attack on the footy is everything you expect, isn't it?
Certainly is. They're playing very well at the moment, and the game can go either way.
You miss playing?
I certainly haven't. When I finished after 14 years, I'd really had enough, and I'm quite happy to watch nowadays.
And what is your role in Norwood involved now? You're there every training night or just one night a week?
Oh, basically, I go there Tuesday and Thursday night, Neville, and on Saturdays as well.
Right. If you had to make a prediction about this game, how would you see it now?
A very unfair question. I think it's very evenly balanced. The last half, the quarters are a bit longer, so it's very difficult to say who'll win. There's nothing in it at the moment.
But it's a good lead-up for the season for you guys. It's a good hard hit-out. You started well, but your last couple of games you wouldn't have been happy with?
Certainly not been happy with the last couple. Tonight seems to be pretty good, but there's another half to go, and unless they finish off the job, perhaps we've got to look at a few other things as well.
We're indeed in for another hard footy, not a hard half of footy as Norwood come onto the ground. Philip, thanks for your time, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Thanks, Kevin.
Cheers.
And welcome back to Football Park, and there you see the big crowd here at Footy Park. It's a wonderful night weather-wise, a real balmy night, and I tell you what, they've been entertained to a terrific game of football. The first half was sensational, with Norwood in front by 11 points at the big break. And Daisy, you're the expert on crowds. How big is it tonight?
Well, Ken, earlier I predicted it was between 13 and 14,000. I get the impression some of them may have gone home, and obviously they'll be watching it on Nine's Wide World of Sports when they do get home. But whatever it is, the scene has been marvellous, and I think that's impressed me this evening is the atmosphere that's buzzing around the ground and the scene. And it certainly is a winner for the South Australian National Football League. And hasn't the game been worthy of the crowd that it's been here? It's a sensational game. We've only had 7 goals to half-time, and I don't think I've seen two teams go in harder than this. They just couldn't.
Well, Daisy, I don't think I've seen a bad Port Adelaide Norwood clash in years. And when you think what's on the end of this game, particularly for Port Adelaide, if they win this game tonight, they're almost assured of a place in the final. So, and a chance to win $30,000. So it's a big prize, a big bait there for Port Adelaide. Let's now start the second half. We'll call it Ian.
Second half in the Foundation Cup, an important one for Port Adelaide to lose tonight. They can't make the final. 4-7 plays 3-2 into the second half. Hooked into the half-forward line there by Johnson, who's having his first run for the evening on the ball. Quickly, Zimmerman boots it back to the legs half-forward line. Northeast, well done. Farmed out by Smart. Tanner one-loaded that quickly. Thomas to the half-forward line. Ducker sets himself for Zonico. Gee, has this lad played well this evening. Gives it out to Phillips on the left leg. Goes to the half-forward line. Big leap there by Pike. No, Barnett was at the back. Pike never ever got started, and the umpire will ball it up centre field with the legs leading by 11 points.
You're on Nine's Wide Water Sports, live at Footy Park. First game of the 5th round. Last round of the Foundation Cup as Tanner goes forward. Kelly underneath it, northeast, gets front position, wins it, pushes it out to Phillips. Loose kick, goes straight to Dantocchia. His kick will be short and finds Sturitsky. Want to move it in quickly. All leads have expired. Weeding again goes underneath it. Oh, he spoiled Smart nearly, but not quite. Big fella takes right on the chest. Everyone else misjudged it. Maybe he's putting it to Norwood. Let's have a look at it.
There's a good strong mark by Ducks, mate. You're right there, Rocky. Weeding came in and almost spoiled him, but Doug Smart completed it. He get the mark.
Doesn't actually look like he's coming out of Savile Road, does he?
Yeah, he's certainly not dressed by them anyway. Third time tonight, the legs hit the post. You can be happy with that. Takes the legs along to 32 points. Port Adelaide 3-2-20.
The kick-off by Phelps. Can the Magpies get back into this game? They trail by 12 points. Dumped away, ball to ground, taken by Grant Tanner, kicks back towards centre half forward, a chance for Ducker. He's flanked by Payne, not a good handball, doesn't find the body. Back to Ducker in the 1-2, we'll go back to Payne again. Now can he kick a goal? From Graham Campbell's pocket, it's coming around, but nowhere near enough, and only a minor score. The legs go to 4-9-33, Port Adelaide 3-2-20 on 9's Wide World of Sports.
Phelps tries again, returns the ball towards centre field. Stephen Williams, brilliant use of the body, takes a fine mark. Sweeps out the handball wide. Brown could run himself into a pocket here. The handball away is not good. New player on the ground. Rowan Smith back to Brown, hooks around the corner into the pocket. Warhurst getting underneath it. Within there is Hines, and the ball tumbles out of play in the left full forward pocket. I think Port Adelaide have made a couple of changes. Certainly Rowan Smith is on the ground, and I thought I picked up another player that's having his first run. I'll just check that out in a second from the throw-in. Farm over the top. Looked like it was Hodges in front. What's the umpire going to do? He's going to ball it up in that left full forward pocket.
Michael Abbott in your screen. With him tonight, Max Casacria, who got charge of the game and really had to be on the ball. It's been pretty tough. Tempers are pretty stretched. Williams now. Caught right around the net. Has to be a free kick. Brown's the call. He goes towards goal. He couldn't put a driver there. A miracle goal.
And there's a big shove there, not played. Quickly to meet the ball is Thomas. Can goes beautifully out of trouble at centre half back. Drives long to the half forward line. Getting back in defence, Fiarchi. Maynard did it beautifully. Row is clear. Short Ducker. Beautifully put. Port Adelaide player just a little unlucky there. But that's the way the cookie crumbles in football. And Ducker's got a chance now from about 30 metres out. Rosonico's played a marvellous game on the lad. Ducker's had a few important touches, but this is very important to Norwood. Kick number 4. He hasn't given it up at all. He's nudged a minor score, and Norwood suffering in front of goal. 4-10 plays 4-2.
And Mark Ducker has been experienced enough now not to make mistakes in front of goal, and the other ones you've just got to kick. It's not a high-scoring game. There's a lot of pressure, and every shot counts. Counts like crazy. Third quarter at Football Park. Dan Toccia playing out the centre of the ground. The kick is perfect for Payne. Gives him every opportunity. His kick towards Weeding is too high for that player. And Phelps, coolly behind, sits and takes an easy mark. On to Fiarchi. Towards half-back they go. Hutton, held without possession. He'll get a free kick. Michael Abbott in your screen, directing traffic. Hutton. David Hutton with his 8th kick. Centre wing by himself. Johnson, but only for a while as Barham comes in to spoil. Johnson recovers. Brown there. Smith, Rowe throws himself over the top. And umpire Max Casacria will ball up. 5 minutes into the third quarter. And the Redlegs in front by 8 points.
The bounce down. Hodges went high, tapped it straight to Rodman. His kick is partly smothered. Will it go out of bounds on the full? Yes, it will. Umpire Litchfield, the boundary umpire, signals it's out of bounds on the full. And George Fiarchi will take the relieving free kick. The Magpies back into attack, going towards centre half forward, looking behind, stumped away by that player. Pike the crumbs, gee, that's a dangerous kick back towards centre half forward. A chance now for North East onto his right boot, gets a push. The ball goes out of play on the full. Thought he should have got a free kick for a push in the back. But umpire Max Casacria doesn't agree. It's a pretty hard game to umpire, I can tell you. It's been hard, it's been aggressive, it's been tight all night. Warhurst with the free kick. Back to the half-back flank. Zimmerman, fine young player. Handball's over to Pike, who last week played in the cricket grand final at the Adelaide Oval for the Eagles. Off his hands it comes, off the hands of the pack, should I say, but another free kick has been picked out. It'll go again the way of Port Adelaide, and it's Hutton.
Ninth kick to the half-forward line. Once again, Stephen Williams. Can he do it again? He throws the ball back. It looked like a throw. Gets it back from Rowan Smith in the double play. Hooks up looking for the big leaper. In there goes Hodges. Or took it high. Ball farmed out. Pike. The handball away wasn't all that good. Sturitsky gets it away. Quickly in Hutton again. Throws out a handball. Brown under pressure. Lost the footy. Zimmerman, Fiarchi. Almost took his jumper off. And the umpire will ball it up. Ball up on the half-forward line. Norwood by 8 points, 7 minutes into the second half. The heavy body of Farm goes in first. Rowe chases the ball well and gets it out fantastically well. Grant Tanner drives out long up towards the half-forward line. Smart using his body. Oh, strength against strength there. Mohammed in the mountain. Payne gets the handball out. Long one up towards the pocket. Out comes Weeding. Ducker looking for it. Never found it. Rosonico said, thank you very much. The easy mark in the back pocket plus his 50 metres.
The 50-metre rule. First one tonight. The second one tonight was Wanganeen got the first one. Correction. Against Ducker. Umpire Michael Abbott wants his own way in the centre of the ground, and as long as he's got that silver whistle, he's just likely to get it. Paul Rosonico. Drop punt, half forward. They set themselves. Hines goes up a bit early. Brown does the crumbing. He's got a chance on his left foot. Not another miracle goal, could they? Not quite. Wanganeen against Ross. Recovers beautifully, Wanganeen, but not before Ross gets away to Tanner. Tanner looks up, his eyes are good, goes to Thomas. That player wants to get on with it quickly. Short again. It's his 11th kick. He goes short to Tanner. Plenty of kicks, Tanner. 19 touches, that's his 10th kick. Centre wing. Up they go. Beautifully spoiled. Then Toccia takes the crumb. There's a free kick. So that goes to the big fella, Phillips. And he'll take that from centre wing.
The umpire's taking stronger control in this third quarter. A number of technical free kicks being paid. Thumped away by Pike. Chance for Brown from Port Adelaide into the pocket up towards full forward. It's not a good kick. Does it stay in play? Yes, it does. Bounces down on the first bounce. Don't forget, of course, tomorrow from the Wacker Ground in Perth, the FAI Cup final between South Australia and Western Australia should be a beauty. Our telecast commences at 3 o'clock till 6, then 8:30 till 11 o'clock. And of course, don't forget, hey, at Saturday from 8:30. It should be a beauty.
Norwood come away through Rowe. Robran out wide. It's a two-man fight out here. Payne against Hutton. I wouldn't be surprised if the wings had been changed. Hutton seems to be on the other side of the ground now. Dan Docker runs into front, but he's gone. No, the umpire said OK. Great tackle by Wanganeen. Rowe short to the lead of Thomas, who's got it in centre wing. The legs have got Smart clear. That's the way the ball will travel. Smart on the half-forward line. He gets a bit of a Bronx cheer. I'm not sure whether it's from the Norwood or the Port Adelaide supporters. Smart puts it in long, up towards Ducker, Weeding over the top. The ball comes to ground, out emerges Phelps. But he can't keep the ball in play, and the throw-in will take place in the right forward pocket of Norwood. They lead by 8 points.
There's nothing in this game. Norwood in their forward line would love a goal right now. The crummer will be ball ace if he could sit for him. Rowe right on his heels. Under pressure. Baum tries to take it on the chest. Maynard, he has Zimmerman, or at least is Zimmerman coming through. Smith tried to get it to ball ace, but it ends up with Brown. And Brown off the ground. So not a lot of thought in that, and he wouldn't be pleased with that. Pike will bring it back into play. Sends the ball high towards half forward. From behind, Rosonico punches the ground. The crummer is Rowe. He'll chip it around if he can. Gets around two players. There's no one to kick it to now. All the leads are done. Port Adelaide read it beautifully. Gets back underneath it, Phelps. And that's the problem with a player that hangs on the ball for just a little bit long. And you expect him to do certain things and he doesn't. Effectively changed the play for Port Adelaide as Abernathy runs up the far side. He'll use his pace. Through the centre of the ground he goes for Williams. He won't waste any time. He moves it on. His kick is high. They set themselves. From behind was Hines. Couldn't take it. Hodges. It sits for him. A chance. Clever player. Playing at centre-half forward. Boots it in long. Go very close. High to the square. The Redlegs are there in numbers. A little bit wide. And 1 point. So margin reduced to 7 points. And it's Norwood's lead.
Gee, it's a fantastic game of football. The atmosphere is tremendous here at Football Park as the kickoff comes back towards Robin, who marks on the half-back flank. Matthew Robin towards centre wing, looking out there for Smart. With him as Phillips. Russell Johnson was held on to. Payne the crumbs, has a bounce, doesn't come back to him. Kicks the long ball up towards full forward. Weeding and Phelps. Weeding in front. Couldn't take the mark. Thumped away by North East. In goes Weeding again. Rosonico with a chance. Did he get a push in the back? No. Grant Tanner with the crumbs. A long handball to Payne. Payne kicks the ball. And I think he's got it. He has it home.
Out they put their lead to 13 points. Only 9 goals being scored in this game. The 1/4 score for either one of these sides. That's how tough it's been out there. Defences have been good. And the pressure has been fantastic. Kelly gets it to Dancoccia. His return goes to Towner. He's caught with the ball. Dancoccia again, holding the ball to decision. And that's just a beautiful indication of how tough it's been out there. There is no time to make a decision. As soon as you touch the footy, you've got to get rid of it. That's Max Casacrea in your screen. High. Tregenza. Ball to ground. Stringer gets it up. Just on the ground, Stringer. Borlays. There. And the Norwood player, we can get a look at him, is Lester Ross. We'll have a throw up. And Michael Abbott in control.
Yes, the policeman, Michael Abbott. Down goes the bounce. Hall with a tap away. Ball towards the boundary line. Rowe was there. And the umpire will bring the ball back into play. 13 points the difference. It's the Legs in front. Great game of footy. Big John Hall. Hodges. Ball used his body. Wanganeen. Handball is smothered, taken by Maynard to Pike. Pike back towards the centre position, and Thomas, playing the bottom of the game tonight for the Legs, takes the mark. Thomas towards centre half forward, has 2 players here to aim at. Takes Maynard. Then Chottier with the football now. The handball to Ducker. Ducker from the pocket, a chance to kick a major. I think he has another goal to Ducker.
27 plays 46, and the Redlegs' last 5 minutes have been pretty valuable. Might cost the Magpies a position in that final. Hall in your screen with Borlays. Max Casacrea is the umpire. 15 minutes gone. 3rd quarter. Football Park. Nines, Wide Water Sports as Hines goes up high. Maynard gets it to Payne. It's all the Redlegs at the moment. Oh, in the way. Great catch by Abernathy. Doesn't like the attention that Thomas is going to give him. He just wants the footy. Socks down. Bruce Abernathy. 6th kick. Playing from half back. Sends it in long. Hall underneath it. So too is Johnson, but it's the big man Hall, the fireman. Oh, his handball is atrocious. Puts Dancoccia under pressure. Warhurst loses the ball. Real chance here for the Magpies. Ross throws himself in. Dancoccia. This time Hall's a little bit better. Warhurst. They make hard work out of that. Zimmerman went for the punch. Inexperienced. Threw strongly. Smart. Caught his road. Borlays there. Zimmerman again. His kick is short. Thomas again.
What a game he's playing. Thomas over to Payne, also playing well. Into the pocket he goes, looking for Weeding. Phelps is tightened on this player. Since early in the 1st quarter. Ducker. Back to Payne. He's in real strife, does it cleverly. He's in strife again. He's got to go shortly. Gets the handball away. Weeding is the player. Tries to crash the pack. Back to Phelps. His kick is smothered. North East is there. Does it cleverly, North East. The Daisy Borlays. He kicks back towards centre wing. Bounce. Rodman there. Can he keep the ball in play? No, he can't. Tackled by Williams, and the ball goes out of play. Right in front of the grandstand here at Football Park. 17 minutes into the 3rd quarter. And it's Norwood 6-10-46, Port 4-3-27. John Hall. Geneva. Wood, and Chottier goes in hard. The Pike. Breaks the tackle. Kicks back towards centre half forward. Abernathy is there. Tanner playing a top game, busted off the football. Rosonico also been a good player for Port Adelaide tonight. Back towards the centre of the ground, thumped away. He was at Tanner again, over to Smart. Smart from centre half forward, long kick in towards goal, but it's just fading away, and only a minor score to the Legs.
Young Tanner has had 10 kicks and 10 handballs. Superb performance as Phelps puts the ball back. 6-11 plays 4-3. Phelps not one of his usual brilliant kicks or in length, but he certainly found his mark on the outer side and maybe 50 metres. Off it goes against Keith Thomas, who doesn't normally get caught like that, but Borlase is going to go from the half-back flank well over the centre line. Well, I don't know whether...
Definitely a too high tackle and a round arm. He tried to hold the player up and he deserves a 50-metre penalty.
Borlase from centre wing, drives to the half-forward line, all back there at Zimmerman. Well taken. He's at centre half-back for the Legs. Ninth kick as it goes back towards the half-forward line. Game's perhaps eased a little bit in the pressure. Couldn't keep it up all night. They wouldn't be physically possible. Well done, Hines, to get it out to Geneva. Off goes the racehorse. Simon Tregenza gets it out wide. Out there quickly now is Williams it was. Or Tregenza's caught. Williams has got the ball. But it's a great grab there. And the free kick will go the way. Who is it?
Good tackling again. Player Stringer there as well. Caught with the ball. No room to move at all, Daisy.
Geneva, high to the half-forward line. Thomas up. Brown in front. Tapped out quickly. Wanganeen. Hall. Now it's Maynard playing a good game in this third quarter. Quickly in on the ball was Abernethy. He's having a quiet one. Foster slips at Hines. Here's a chance now. Phillips has only got to get it to Hutton. He can't find a handle. Out goes Brown, but a free kick is going the way of Norwood, I think, this time for a legging. And this will be taken on the half-back line by Warren Halfpenny.
Halfpenny's kick to Zimmerman. And I'd probably sound as good as some of those players are feeling out there at the moment. Virus, still a bit safer up here. Ducker gets it out beautifully to Maynard. He has runners all over the place. He wants to carry it himself, though. Ignores Turitsky. Puts it in high. Weeding up high. Like always been paid. What about grab?
Well, that's debatable whether this is a mark. Yes, it is a mark. Good decision by umpire Michael Abbott, in my opinion, Rocky.
Thanks, Ken. It's nice to be vindicated by an ex-umpire. I've always agreed with him, of course. So Weeding has kicked 3 points, hit the goalpost twice, and kicked those three, and kicked one goal. He kicked 3 points in that first quarter and was everywhere. He kept a little quiet since. Kick number 6. Loved this goal. Tried for a bit of distance and suffered the penalty of inaccuracy doing so. And a couple of Port supporters are just telling us something. James, maybe you could have a look. Phillips coming off the ground to the cheer of the crowd. Replacing him is Paul Stringer.
Yes, the big man's copped an injury as the kick-off by Phelps comes back towards Tregenza. Tregenza has been beaten by young Grant Tanner tonight. Back towards the centre wing it goes. Oh, good mark. Oh, that's inconsistency for that. Should have been paid to Williams. It was paid to Whitting, a similar mark. Hodges comes through, busted off the football, back towards Williams. He's going in hard. Who's not going in hard, if you don't mind, out there at the moment. There'll be some sore boys tomorrow, I can tell you. It's really been fiery stuff.
It's a great hit out. Both sides will be appreciating this just before the start of the season. It'll really get them tuned up.
You speak for yourself, Rocky. This big haul goes high. Puts it down to Sturitsky. His kick back towards half-forward, looking for Maynard. Went up one hand. Payne again. How many times did he gather the crumbs from that centre wing position? Kicks towards full forward. Weeding this time. Couldn't take the mark. With him a Stringer. Tackles that player. Loses the ball. Grant Tanner. Oh, was he led? No, he wasn't, according to the umpire. Brzonik over to Maynard. And he's kicked the goal for the Legs.
27 points in it. It's the Redlegs. Only 5 quick goals. The Magpies can kick that in time on. Warhurst. Long handball to Zimmerman. This boy's picked up plenty of kicks, particularly this quarter, been a good player. His kick is short, and his kick to Tanner is good. Halfpenny, Tanner, and Zimmerman have played a lot of under-19s footy together, and that shows. Williams now with the ball. Good vision to Brown, Foster, Geneva. They're playing around with it, Port Adelaide, but they keep possession. Wanganeen. No one in the square. If he can get it on, he does cleverly. It's up high. Johnson by himself. That's very clever by Gavin Wanganeen. He must have heard your call, Ken. And Wanganeen very cleverly to Johnson to give the captain every opportunity. And they really need this goal. Only second kick from the forward pocket. That's his first.
A great performance by young Gavin Wanganeen, and what a goal it was. It certainly one needed badly by Port Adelaide, but young Wanganeen raised his eyes and saw his captain Russell Johnson in the goal square by himself, and Russell Johnson from point-blank range. Whilst it's been a quiet night for the Magpie captain, that was certainly an important goal, and now they trail by 21 points.
At the bounce, Hines against John Hall. Favours John Hall, who gets the tap away. Look for Sturicki. Thomas had an airy, well played. In there going hard. Norwood, Williams hooked around the corner by Halfpenny. Up towards centre wing. 2-on-1 here. Malloy did it well to get the body in the road. Sturicki gets it out to Payne. And that's a great grab. He's wondering where to go. Finally puts the kick away up towards full forward. Weeding! Paid the mark. Too strong, and that's been a classic contest between those two boys this evening. Although this time I don't know whether it was Phelps on him or not. Stringer it was, but Weeding has taken a strong mark, 25 or 30 metres out. A very important kick for the legs. 25 minutes gone of the third quarter. We must be very close to the siren. The kick's underway, coming back beautifully with the leg. And he boots their 8th goal. 8-12 to 5-3 as the siren sounds, and that's a massive 27-point lead to the legs.
Yes, Norwood that quarter really doing it well. They kicked 5 goals that quarter, showed a lot of zip, got around the packs, got some crummers there, made their forward line work, and Weeding getting in front, taking a few marks, made a lot of difference.
Three-quarter time, it's Norwood 8-12-60, leading the Magpies 5-3-33. Can the Maggies come back in the last quarter? You're watching it on 9's Wide World. Three-quarter time here at 40 Park. It's the legs in control, 8-12-60, leading by 27 points. Port Adelaide 5-3-33. Great third quarter there by the legs. The main goal kickers, Payne and Weeding 2 each. And for the Magpies, young Wanganeen has booted 2. Graham Campbell, there doesn't appear to be the same zip about Port Adelaide tonight as we've seen in past games.
No, I don't suppose there is, Ken, but I saw Norwood play last week. They're a rejuvenated side tonight, believe me. At the Bay last Saturday, they really were, well, they were wallowing in self-pity come the last quarter. They couldn't get up, and they played like men with no mission in mind. Tonight, they've got a mission, Ken. They want to stop Port getting in the grand final. They're going to achieve it, I fear.
Well, they're 27 points in front, Graham, and I reckon Norwood right across centre, when I say right across centre, particularly on the wings, young Tanner's player, Boomer, and also David Payne.
Yep. I'd lean to David Payne as being the more efficient of the two, Ken, although Tanner's had his moments tonight, and Keith Thomas around the ball has been sensational. Like it's the Norwood of old, they're first at the ball and they're using it with precision, and if they had a kick straight, Ken, they could have been further ahead. I mean, James Weeding's hit the post 3 times, I think, still come up with 2 goals. And it really is a different Norwood turn to the side I saw last Saturday.
Well, Graham, if Port Adelaide are to get back into this game in this last quarter, what's got to happen for them?
Well, they can't get back, Ken.
Norwood can get back, Graham. They're a good side, and really 27 points is nothing.
Can I amplify that, Ken? They're kicking with the breeze, Norwood. It would be a 2 to 3 goal breeze, I might add, and Norwood have got it. So I fear the Magpies are in a no-win situation. If they can make a game of it and hang in there about a couple of goals down come the final siren, they've done a good job, believe me.
Well, Graham, of course, players that really haven't fired tonight for Port Adelaide, Ginniver, Russell Johnson, Abernethy on the half-back flank has hardly been cited, so there's a lot of key players down tonight.
Well, I tried to say to Darren Smith at half-time, Ken, why Russell must have been used more, because apparently he kicked 5 goals last week.
Yes.
I just wonder just how his fitness is. It may be a little bit down. He's only there as insurance, because he hasn't had a big night, because he hasn't been used all that much. So you just wonder, but I think Port are going to blow it, Ken. I think it'll be a Woodball Glenelg grand final next Friday night.
Well, I tell you what, Graham, Norwood have looked superb tonight, and no doubt this performance will give their supporters a great deal of hope. A lot of good players really firing, a lot of youngsters, Zimmerman, Halfpenny, so there's some promise there for Norwood.
Well, Ken, you and I are going to be right. We said it'd be a big year for Norwood, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. You're right, Graham.
Oh, no, they've got a lot of good players, Ken. Without being too wrapped up in what's happened tonight, they've got a supercharged side this year, Norwood. And as I said earlier, James Weeding at full forward complements the team completely. They're a side to be reckoned with, and they won't be in the grand final of the night footy, but they'll be there somewhere around the place coming into this season.
Good on you, Mr. 1 to 10. That's Graham Campbell. Let's now take you to your commentator, Ian Day.
Thanks, Ken. Just working out who will be in the grand final of the footy. Should Port Adelaide lose tonight, it's a real conundrum. Quite a few options, but if North can win this weekend, they're looking pretty good. Only time will tell. And Woodville, of course. 8-12 to 5-3. quarter, and it could be the final quarter in the Foundation Cup for Port Adelaide. But we've said that before about them, and they've come back. Johnson in ruck. Palm gets the tap away. Northeast gets the ball towards the half-forward line, well marked by Brown. The Magpies are running already. Jennifer fires one in long up towards full forward. Paul Hayes is there. Robin at the back. Warhurst in front. And the senior player, like a gentleman, no, he's going to have to give it back. I thought he'd given it to the young man, but Warhurst has been paid the mark. He edges the legs out of defence up towards the half-back line. It's well taken by Port Adelaide. Phelps out from goal now. Wobbles an awkward kick. Farm makes the most of it at centre-half back. Who's running? Out to centre wing. He gives a chance out here to Rowe. Coming across to meet him is Maynard. I think the ball's going to beat them both to the line. No, it's then Cockyer. Gets it back. Tanner. Oh, the handball too far. Tregenza will use his pace. Tanner well played with his body. Then Cockyer quickly onto the boot there of Pike. Up towards the half-forward line. The bounce will determine, and it beats them all out of play.
Yes, when your hands let you down like that, and I know those boys are only young, but it just shows you what sort of pressure you can put back on your teammates when it really was just a simple handball and they were away. They had to scramble with a lot of hard body work to make 10 metres after that. Northeast, or Abernathy it is. Seventh kick, high. Brown and Zimmerman miss it. Jennifer can't take it. Through strongly Williams. Williams again. In fact, that's Paul Williams. Zimmerman. Taken by Maynard. Turn Malloy. Bit of time, plenty of pace. The kick is absolutely delightful to James Weeding. You won't ask for better than that. Zimmerman's exactly. Tanner's come off. I think he actually got injured in that last bit of play. And there's that kick into Weeding. Perfect bit of forward play. And Brett Hand comes on the ground to replace the Grant Tanner, who appears to be just a bit injured. Weeding, kick one from this distance at the other end. Absolutely no mistake about that as he kicks his second.
Forward into attack again, leading 9-12 to 5-3 up towards the half-forward line. It's Biaggi getting back on the ball. Kicking a lot with his left leg ever since he had that trouble with the right thigh. He kicks with the left leg. He's done it consistently tonight. Jennifer gets it out wide. Chance Hutton picked up quite a few touches. Hutton goes in short with an awkward kick. Brown, half-forward line. Oh, Williams runs into a dead heat. Down he goes, holding the ball. Never had a chance. Top tackle by Warhurst.
Well, he's renowned for it, Tom Warhurst. When he sticks a tackle, he makes it stick. And so too the fellow he's tackling. Williams has seen himself a very good tackler.
Half-forward line, big leap, smart. The umpire says play on. Out comes Phelps with the football. But now he calls a halt and he'll bounce on the half-forward line.
Umpires Michael Abbott and Max Casacria. Michael Abbott in your screen. Kept control of this game earlier in the piece when players were under a lot of pressure. Anything could have happened, but it didn't. Out comes Abernathy. Gives the ball over to Phelps. His kick is towards centre wing. Zimmerman and Brown do battle there, and that's a softly kick, but it's going to Norwood. There's a lot in that. Zimmerman's kick through the centre of the ground, and he wants to make him kick over his mark. So this is where I feel that sometimes the umpires really take a bit of a gloss off the game, but nice to just let those things go. Anyway, the rules are there. I guess they've got to abide them. Storitsky gets it back out to Thomas. Around the corner again. Can they build from here, the Magpies? If they can get control of the footy. Northeast is there. Ducker will hold it in. Oh, he was watching the Logies last week, I think.
I like the impression there. One eye on the umpire, one eye on the ball. Telling the umpire that he was endeavouring to get rid of the footy. Watching it on 9's Wide World of Sports, live here at Football Park. Dumped away into the square it goes. Payne is there. Stringer. And in fact, just forces the ball out of play. A bit of by-play. At the behind post. And it's Norwood by 33 points. Almost 5 minutes into the final term. Can the Maggies get back into this game? Russell Johnson with a tap down, taken by Stringer. The handball is loose. It's heavy body work. Taken by McKay, and Darren McKay, who's on for the first time, kicks back towards the centre wing position. Chance for Wanganeen. Oh, got a high one. He'll get a free kick. He's hurt again.
Yes, that was a poor tackle. And the kid's not well. And funnily enough, it was the same man that claimed him before and gave the goal away. Young Wanganeen down in a heap. And the big crowd not really enjoying it. Port Adelaide player going to have to take the free kick is going to be Phil. But Wanganeen up on his feet okay.
The ball towards half-back. And there's a free kick. An even upper, and the umpire saw that one, like he saw the other one. So Johnson, it's in football terms, it has to happen, but maybe the public don't understand it that much. Players getting a little out of control.
Craig Barber's standing 30 metres away, the most unconcerned man in the lot. All the rest of them are having a real go.
Well, nothing much happens in those mellies normally, as you know, and every now and then it can. Archie and
You're not watching the milling that I'm watching.
I'm trying to diffuse it for the umpires, Daisy. And George, there's not much sense in that. I reckon the boys ought to get control of this.
They keep coming any further over the line, they'll be down in the change rooms.
Well, what more can the umpires do? They want to fight, you can't stop them. This might suit the Magpies now. This might lift them a bit.
Here we are, and Russell Johnson in retaliation to the Gavin Wanganeen affair, and that's what happened. You saw it live on Nine's Wide World of Sports. Brown gives it out on that occasion to Geneva. In turn, Wanganeen now. Behind play again, Geneva and Company. It's another brawl, but there's two umpires, and that's what they're there for. The game will go on. Lester Ross with the ball. Kazaquira will look after the fight. David will look after the footy. They go on with it. Payne to Dantocha is good play. Short through half forward is good. Rowe with the ball now. He wants to move it on quickly. Smart's gone on a lead. Short to Dantocha. Doesn't come off. Payne works in there hard. Dantocha again. Williams puts his head over the ball. He's good at that. Throws it out to Hutton. He in turn goes to Phelps, and the Magpies goes through half forward.
I tell you what, it's been a torrid affair, that's for sure. Williams there. Crowd, big crowd here. Daisy said about 13,000 or 14,000 people have really enjoyed this encounter tonight between Port Adelaide and Norwood. It's not finished yet. 7.5 minutes into the final term. On the half forward flank, the Maggies. Barn is in there, taken by Pike, back towards the centre wing position. Stephen Williams with possession now. Hits the handball over the top. McKay. Into the pocket it goes. Barn to Pike. Pike back towards centre wing. Gee, it's heavy work there. Smart over the football. Piacci taps it on. McKay again goes in. Will he get a free kick? He will. And Port Adelaide are not done with yet. Plays on quickly. Goes to his captain, Russell Johnson. A long kick into the square behind. Port Adelaide a chance. Through the agency of ball aids. Couldn't complete the mark. Williams working hard. So was Thomas. And the ball is finally forced out of play in the full forward pocket for the Maggies.
The Legs by 33 points. Actually double what Port Adelaide has scored. At the throw in, the bodies go in. Up over the top, Hodges. Brilliantly done.
Going into attack once more. A long handball. It'll be intercepted by Lester Ross. So is Tommy Warren. Off hands again. Scotty Hodgett. Can he beat his second goal? Not in the goal umpire, no. There's many moments, gee whiz, that would have been a handy one for the Magpies. But I tell you what, you never ever write a Port Adelaide side off. And in 9.5 minutes into the final term, and they trail by 27 points. The kick-off by Rodman comes back towards the grandstand side. Barn with the mark. The Port supporters don't love him at all. I can give him the strong tip. Back towards centre wing. Pull northeast. Cuddles the ball out of play. 10 minutes into the final term, and the difference is 26 points.
Gee, had Hodges kicked that, would have livened the crowd up a bit. And maybe the play, if he can get it any livelier. Smart comes out with the football. The handball was bad. Tregenza off the side of his boot. Oh, that's a very tough passage of play. Brilliantly done by young Zimmerman. The free kick, it wouldn't have been against Zimmerman. It would have been somewhere else to shepherd out. Because he showed a lot of courage, that young man. Geneva puts it up towards the half-forward line. Hines is there. Warhurst goes to thump. Payne comes out with a footy. Gets it up towards centre wing. Coming to meet the ball and shoot, getting a free kick is Hutton, and that's the way the ball will go. Port Adelaide irrepressibly going into attack again. High one up towards Hines at full forward at the back of the pack. Here's a chance, Williams needs support. Tang goes out of the pack, hooks around the corner, but he can't bring it back far enough. A brilliant solo attempt. Gee, he showed some courage. but he's booted out of play on the full.
Tough as you like. Tried to get through, and that would have been a great goal. And almost a repetition of that one in the third quarter on his left boot. Oh, up high was Maynard, couldn't control it. Tregenza overruns it. Thomas takes him to ground. No free kick. Then Tochu gets it on that occasion to Brett Hand. Oh, through strongly was Abernathy. Gets a boot to it. Half forward for the Magpies. Beautifully come by Brown. Goes into the open goal. It's home for the Maggies.
Pies are back on the fight. We're in the fight. They've taken Craig Barham off. Hall's back on. The ball goes to the half-forward line again. Ross, Warhurst gets it out wide. A chance now for Zimmerman. He kicks long to the half-forward line. In the road is Phelps. I don't think Craig Barham actually got a standing ovation when he came off. Well done, Staritsky. Wanders through the forward line out wide. He's got Payne. 40 metres out. Heads away towards goal. Brilliantly done. Goal 3. 10 to the leg. 10-12. Just 7-4 on 9. Wide world of sport.
Well, it was a beautiful interception by Staritsky. Let's have a look at it as Phelps got it back on that occasion. And to Hutton, it was a beautiful block off the boot. That's a solo effort. Gather the ball back. Good running effort by Payne, who probably should have been with Hutton on that occasion, because it was Hutton who had the ball and Payne was nowhere near him. But luck's a fortune. He was in the space and kicked his third.
The Redlegs supporters, they're happy. The Magpies will come back again. I'll never lay down. Ball with a tap away. Taken by Stephen Williams. Handballs to Borlase. Smothered off the boot. Rowe goes in. Out it comes to Smart. Runs into a brick wall, almost holding the ball. Geneva. Stephen Williams. Here's a chance now for Tregenza. Centre wing grandstand side. The Maggies about to go into attack. Kicks towards half forward. Not many options here. It's all Norwood, and a great mark has been taken on this occasion by Halfpenny, I think it is. Yes, Warren Halfpenny. Only a youngster. Kick number 8 back towards centre wing. Russell Johnson went up one hand, taps it down to Tregenza. Kick number 14 for Tregenza, and the ball is forced out of play.
Football Park attendance, there it is on your screen. 14,405 people, and they've enjoyed a fantastic night and plenty of entertainment.
Daisy, you said between 13 and 14,000. I was saying you're waning.
Sorry for the second time tonight, Ken.
Wanganeen with the ball goes short. Finds Williams on that occasion. His kick into the square is a chance for the Magpies. Hines couldn't hold it. Can he recover? He does to Williams. Open goal. He's second.
Norwood into attack towards half forward. Fiachi coming out with a bounce for him. He paddles the ball towards the boundary line. Ducker is with him. Fiachi, Ducker. And the ball beats both those players out of play. Bit of pushing and shoving, but no harm done. Ducker number 39. 20 points the difference. 72 plays 52. 15 minutes into the final term. Smart. Russell Johnson. Taken by Smart. The handball's away to Thomas, who's been a good player for Norwood tonight. Coming out Phelps. Flanked by Geneva. Away goes Stringer. Takes the mark. The Maggies go again into attack. Goes the handball to Mackay. Oh, he runs. Oh, the knee moved a brick wall. Let the handball away. Borlase with the kick towards full forward. Stringer in front. Williams it was. Wanganeen! I think he's missed. Strike me, Pink. How can he miss that?
Has this game ever hotted up again? It looked like drawing to a fairly dull finish in the end, but gee, it's steaming again now.
I don't believe, Ken. Just strike me, Pig, how can you miss that? The guy's got 100 mile an hour on his left foot out of the pocket.
Ken expects a lot. Lester Ross from the back pocket. And I believe the boys got it in him for that matter. Over the top came Hall. He destroys any possibility of a mark, and the ball goes out of play on the half-forward left flank. Don't forget, tomorrow, the SAWA FA Cup final. It's a day-night game, 3 to 6 p.m. Then following that immediately is Hey Hey at Saturday, and then from 8:30 till 11 p.m. A great night's entertainment on Nine's Wide World of Sport.
Not bad entertainment on your screen right now. Live at Football Park. Max Kazakria in charge. And live all right. It's like a volcano, this game. Yep. Do absolutely anything. Geneva can do it. Brown can. Can he score his second for the quarter? So not a bad attempt. In the way is Robran. Well, Williams was late on the scene and nearly quite took it. Robert has been a bad player for the Redlegs, and he certainly found his spot in that back pocket. There's the score, 54 plays 72 from the kick out. Round the corner he goes, Robert. Hand it was. Tregenza. Williams. Oh, beautifully intercepted by Robert. Good work for a big man. He runs up the ground, sends the legs in long. Ducker in front. Rosonico's done a good job on that player. Rosonico back. Throws it out towards Biaggi. He has a little bit of time, not much. A couple of seconds is a long time out there. McKay goes backwards to Johnson, who's flat-footed, didn't really want it. Wanganeen, he'll recover. Plenty of players there as Hall to Payne, to Pike. Redlegs, not a lot of pressure on him as he runs down the ground. He's got a chance to have a look. He'd love to have a shot at goal. It'll go very, very close. Just wide of the posts. Point to the Redlegs. I don't know, I'll get through this replay with my boys, Ken.
Big Neil Baum there. Cool, calm and collected as ever. As Stringer with a kickoff comes back towards the grandstand side. Maynard has the set. Tregenza to spoil. Almost got to be a free kick. Not paid. D'Antocia has the ball from centre half forward. Over towards Payne. Payne into the pocket. Tries to draw the player, then steadies. Payne up towards full forward. Biaggi is there, but it's through for a minor score. In the interim, Norwood go to 10-14-74. They lead Port Adelaide by 20 points, 8-6-54. 18.5 minutes into the final term. Daisy, what a game of footy.
Still time, Ken. Agree with you. 10-14 to 8-6. Gee, it's been a great night's entertainment for the 14,405 people here. Forgot to check the bars. Williams around the corner towards centre wing. Coming to meet it and doing it well is the young fellow in Warren Halfpenny. But he takes it through the interchange gate for a throw-in. Been a tough physical clash. And I think these boys would be pretty sore for the whole of the weekend. Wide's World of Sport, live from Footy Park as the ball comes out there from Maynard. D'Antocia Pike up towards the half-forward line. Getting up very early was smart. Oh, Phelps through, nearly lost his head. Here's a chance northeast. Down he goes. Maynard played a fine game. Out wide to Rowe, back on the turf again. Sturridge has to beat one player, gets the kicker, sorts away. In the road is Johnson. Brown wobbles one back towards centre wing. Over the top, big mark taken there by, let's see who it is when he comes up for air. It's Daisy Borlase at centre wing to put the Magpies into attack.
Borlase, pretty handy around goals too. Abernathy limping off the ground. That's bad news for the Magpies. Ball to ground. Jennifer's where he should be. Crumbing position. Russell Ebert type handball. But it's Halfpenny. He's kicked through the centre of the ground. Finds Maynard. He looks cramped. I think that's northeast. Mixed those two players up all night. They've both got their socks down. Certainly a difference in how they play. Maynard's kick towards half forward for the Redlegs. Interference against Johnson, and the big fella will get a free kick. 20 points the difference in favour of the Redlegs. They play 20 minutes. Still enough time. It can still happen for the Magpies if they get a break. Thomas. Oh, beautifully tackled by Williams. Players stay over the top of the ball, and they'll force a bounce up.
Gee, Thomas did that well to keep that ball locked away then, because there were 3 Port Adelaide players that they could have taken possession. Did it well, Thomas. Almost 21 minutes gone in this final term. Hodges with the tap out. Stephen Williams has played well in this last quarter. He's had a good night, actually. Kicks around his body back towards half forward. Over the top, Robin. Has the mark been paid? Yes, it has. Robin in defence for Norwood. Kick number 8. Back towards centre wing. Off hands. Players working hard. Payne is in there. McKay. He can't do much with it. And umpire Michael Abbott once again will call for a bounce. The Legs lead by 20 points.
21 minutes gone. Off comes Smart. On goes for Norwood. Nichols. But in the meantime, play goes on. Stephen Williams on the outer side of the ground. Who'll forget that fantastic goal he kicked? Drives long. In defence is Halfpenny, and he takes a good mark at centre half back. He'll come out wide. Gets a lead from Pike. They can create the loose man now if they get the handball over. Brett Hand. Back now to Warhurst. Pike. Drives long to the half-forward line. The bodies are in. Maynard's played a superb game. This time Phelps got him. Through goes Nichols. Stringer back in defence. Goes for the safety of the line. But time starting to run out for the Magpies and the crowd, the big crowd for a night game, starts to leave.
Into time on in the final quarter. 20 points the difference. Johnson, heavy body work going in there, comes out towards Stephen Rowe, Geneva. Nichols appear to get a high tackle, not paid by the umpire, and finally the ball is paddled out of play. It's Norwood into attack. They lead by 20 points. And a great performance by both sides tonight. First half was absolutely sensational. Free kick has been paid. It'll go the way of the Maggies. Big Neil Barn coming down, and Hutton with the free kick. Back towards centre wing. Sturetsky, been a good play tonight for the Legs. Plays on quickly up towards centre half forward. Off hands, a chance for Rosonico, who's also played well for the Magpies. Fiarchi gives him support. Back to Mackay on the half-back flank. And here, youngster. Back into the middle. And Abernethy is there. Onto his left boot. Towards half forward. And Stephen Williams takes them up.
He's just the attack side of centre wing to send the Magpies into attack. His 11th kick. Finds there Wanganeen going through quickly now as Mackay drives up towards full forward. Big mark for Ace. And he's got the ball 25 metres out right in front. Well, an important goal for Port Adelaide. We've played 23.5 minutes. 20 points to difference. It's going to be a big ask for Port Adelaide to win from here. But gee, a goal would certainly throw the cat amongst the pigeons. And he popped it through. 9-6 to 10-14, and the Magpies fight back.
Green there, got the drop on Zimmerman on that occasion. Read it beautifully. Tall hands, an easy mark, and he's good around goals. Normally you see him do the snapshots or set shots. He's always very accurate. That's a goal the Magpies need.
I'll tell you what, another quick goal by the Maggies, and that certainly would throw the cat among the pigeons. The bounce down, Hall and Johnson bodies collide. Sturetsky busted off the ball, but it's taken by Thomas, who's been an excellent player tonight for Norwood. In there was Phelps, almost completed the mark, taken by Foster. Back to the centre of the ground. Over the top went Pike, and a great mark by James Pike. Timmy Jennifer said, what about the nut? 17 kicks to James Pike, been a good player. Fiarchi, Stringer. Nichols for Norwood, number 24, pushes the ball in front of him. David Payne breaks the tackle cleverly from the pocket up towards full forward. Ducker, Rosonico. Ducker appeared to push the play out of the way, but the mark has been paid to Mark Ducker. Rosonico has played him well tonight. On that occasion, Mark Ducker has got to wait. He's had 6 kicks and 5 handballs. Time ticking away. He knows that time's on Norwood's side. 25 minutes gone in the final quarter. 14 points in front. The Legs as he kicks back to Weeding, and that's good football by Ducker. Weeding now about 45 metres from goal on a slight angle. Been a very good player for the Legs, James Weeding. He's going to, if he can stay injury-free, he's going to have a very, very good year. James Weeding, kick number 9. Kicked 3 goals, 4. What's he done here? Maybe 3-5, is it? Yes, he's kicked 3-5.
Only a point. Siren sounds, great win to the Legs. They've beaten Port Adelaide here in the last round for Port Adelaide of the Foundation Cup by 15 points.
They did it in good style, particularly in this last quarter when they went into it, not with a big margin. They just kicked goals where Port Adelaide couldn't. They had as much of the ball. It was a good pressure game, pretty tough, but this time it was the Redlegs.
Yes, the Legs win the encounter, a bruising encounter. Norwood 10-15-75. Port Adelaide 9-6-60. Coming up, of course, coast to coast. Welcome back to Football Park, and some happy Norwood players there leaving the ground, and in fact that's the scoreboard of the early game today, played between the Tigers and the Panthers. There you see the scoreboard in the final game, and Norwood extremely happy. 10 goals, 15-75. The Magpies 9-6-60.
Yes, on this occasion they were happy. Goal scorers for the Redlegs, Weeding and Payne kicked 3 each. There was a number of others that kicked 1, but Port Adelaide, young Wanganeen, what a talent, kicked 2, so did Stephen Williams and 4 lays.
I tell you what, Rocky, that game from a physical point of view was one of the toughest games I've seen for quite some time.
Well, it was, Ken. It's the toughest game I've seen in the Foundation Cup, and it was just body after body after body. There was no time to get rid of the footy. You just had to make instant decisions, and those that held on to it or hesitated did make mistakes, and they cost themselves the ball or advantages.
Well, Rocky, you've played in plenty of encounters between Norwood and Port Adelaide. What is it that brings the best out of those games?
Well, there's no doubt about it. The game, if you're playing Port Adelaide, the game starts on Monday that week, and you always feel pretty nervous during the week, and you just expect an encounter, and of course it leads you into it.
OK, let's go to Mr. 1 to 10 now, Graham Campbell.
Thanks, Ken. Winning coach Neil Baum. Neil, rejuvenated lineup tonight compared to last week's game.
Well, I suppose if you're critical of the lineup, there are a lot of young blokes there, and you could argue that it's perhaps not our super-duper best, but I was very pleased with them. I thought every player had a real go.
Neil, Ken and Rocky were talking up top there. They said it's the toughest Foundation Cup game they've ever seen. Would you agree with that?
I don't know. I think it was pretty physical, but that's what... There was nothing spiteful in it. There was a couple of little mellies, but there was a bit of nothing.
The old-fashioned dust-ups that we see with Norwood and Port.
Well, yeah, we must be doing something right because the Port people seem to hate us.
Especially Brother Craig, I noticed. He earned their eye tonight.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Nothing in it. Neil, I think James Weeding is giving you something I haven't seen you have before. Physical presence in the forward line. Do you agree with that?
Well, yes, he didn't kick well tonight. I think he kicked 3 points.
3-6 I put him down for.
3 points in the first 10 minutes, which is a bit of a worry. He's still got a bit to do, but he does go at the ball very well. He's a beautiful mark, so if we can sort him out a bit and kick him a bit better, I think he'd be a very good player.
Well, I've seen him 2 weeks in a row now. I thought he was a top player last week at the Bay Oval too.
Oh, we had a lot of time for him last year, and with the injuries and things, we hardly got him on the track.
Neil, it was the Norwood of old tonight, and I'm looking forward to that first game of the year against North Adelaide. Are you?
Can't wait.
Especially with Jars on the side, and
yes,
and Doug Smart.
Yeah, Dougie didn't do that much tonight, but
no.
He's sort of lacking a little bit of confidence at the moment, but I think he'll be right, and Andrew will be an exceptional player for us.
And last question, your back line tonight was great.
Yes, it was. They ran very hard. They were very committed. It was good. The young Matthew Robin, I thought, was quite outstanding. He was very good last week as well.
Yep, he was.
So if we just leave him in that back pocket for a while, I think he'll come on pretty well.
Yeah, you're on the way. Good luck for a big season.
Thanks, man.
That's Graham Campbell talking to a happy man, Neil Baum. A good game of footy, Rocky, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a great game of footy. It was pretty physical and great entertainment for the people at home.
OK, just a reminder, of course, tomorrow it's the big one at the Wacker Ground in Perth, the FIA Cup final between SA and WA. Bye, everyone.
This has been another presentation from